have our guest is here. And I'd like to say thanks to Rodney, the man like 8 o'clock schedule. I remember during the last regime, we did a lot of show here, a lot of shows here, 8 o'clock. Rodney is back in town. The last time I spoke to him via telephone from the U.S., it was when FrontPage Africa started putting up their grades for government officials, and there was some talk. I spoke to him, and he said, Clarence, I'll be in town before the season, and I'll come on the show. True to his words, Rodney is here this morning, and he looks younger than, I don't know. But Rodney, it's good to see you, my brother. After all the communication on the phone, I'm very glad to see you in good health. And welcome back home, brother.
Thank you, Clarence. Good to be back. Just want to give some PSA about my situation the last year or so. You know, we take a lot of things for granted in life. Sometimes you need to take a break, and take care of yourself.
Exactly.
And I was lucky because every year I try to do my medical check. I was lucky. Last March, they told me I had cancer. So I was told to give me some options. And we managed to select the one that I thought would be best for me. And went through the process. It was some tough months, but I'm here. I'm here.
So you're looking good. Thank God for you, Rodney.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank God. Thanks.
So you're back now.
Yeah, I just like to tell all the guys out there, like, always do your medical checkup. Do your PSA testing. I don't know if they do PSA in Liberia or if there's somewhere, maybe Dr. Jamali Clinic, whatever. Just make sure you go and get your test done. People drop and die every day. They say, oh, they wish the person or somebody put poison in the food, but we just walk around every day. We don't do the testing. So you have to test yourself to make sure you're good.
Yeah. How is everything that you're back now? You know, I mean, in your absence, the people have always been there. I mean, outside, you control the people from where you are.
You won't believe it. When I was after my surgery, I was on the bed. Mm-hmm. I was texting the newsroom, telling them this story. I was still working.
Even on your sick bed.
I was working.
That's what passion can do.
Yeah, I was working.
That's what passion can do. But generally, how do you think? What's your assessment of the situation in the country, the media and its performance, versus the way the government responding and reacting to issues? And I know we'll come to general issues. And it's good you're back. We'll talk a lot because the Weah regime, we talked here a lot. You were always here, Rodney. Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes it's good for our people to understand that this job we do is not for personal aggrandizement. It's about the country. And the media are doing a good job, I think. We speaking truth to power. I listened to an interview with the president last week. My colleague T. Mark Gelatin and others, they were there asking tough questions. These things are necessary because it helps the country develop. It helps speak truth to power. It helps the government to be in check. And that's all you can ask for the media, because imagine living in a country where everybody, the entire country, is going in one direction, singing the same song, singing the same praises. Mm-hmm. This country will not go anywhere. That's why the fourth estate is important, for us to be able to do things, say things that the ordinary people don't really talk about. And it's the only way the country will grow. It's the only way the country will become, develop in a way that will benefit everybody. Mm-hmm. Because we can't just sit back and see things happen and we don't talk about it. So I think the media is doing a good job in that respect.
Yeah. How do you see, in generally, governance of the country under President Joe Boakai? We will go to specific issues, but from where you sit, from what you know, what are the good, what are the bad things? How are they repeating some of the mistakes of the past? How are they challenging some of the mistakes and moving ahead? And as you talk, I may his soul rest in peace. I always think about how do you call it, old man? Philip, we said, the only thing the job our government can listen to only IMF and World Bank. Many times he will say that.
You know, I think I will give the example of one sector.
Okay.
And say what you want to say about it, but I believe like the best signal of good work is in action. And many people may not know, but the head of LEC was, I think, he's one of the best appointments President Boakai made. And remember, I think I was on the show, I told you they were fighting that appointment. There were people around the president fighting that appointment.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the show before. This guy headed the West Africa Power Pool. I went to Abidjan several times. I saw his setup. He knows what he's doing. And he has connections with the World Bank, the IMF. And those are people that you need. When Madame Sali became president, the first thing she did, she asked the IMF, the World Bank, to help with Anthony Sieh, Dr. Sieh.
Dr. Sieh.
Those kind of jobs, you don't want politicians. You want technical people doing those jobs. And you've seen the results at LEC. When you put technical people in jobs, they know what they're doing, they will get things done.
Exactly.
But if you put politicians in key positions, you have problems. And most of the problems this president is having is because he has too many politicians in key technical positions that shouldn't be there. Imagine if you had like 5 people like Mohammed Sharif in technical positions. I don't want to make anybody feel bad this morning, but in positions that are having problems right now in the government, those key positions, if you have key people who know what they are doing, this government will be way ahead of its time. But because there's too many politicians and they are too angry, there's too much anger in the government. People are angry.
How are they angry? They're in power now.
They're behaving like opposition. They're fighting everybody.
I think Senator Snow said something similar to what you say.
They're fighting everybody.
Are you serious, Rodney?
And it's not, they fight you, they fight me. When we put the grades out last week,
one of them was saying some bad things about me recently. I heard, but
the text messages I got from people, the response that it generated, this is something we'll be doing for the last decade plus. And the reason we started this grading is because after the war, there were a lot of shortfalls. People die because of corruption, greed, nepotism. The very same people you see in government today were outspoken against previous government.
Exactly.
And this grading thing, people say, "Oh, why? How you came about this?" Don't think about it like a class.
And Rodney, before you go further, the thing about it is that most of the time when the people in opposition, they use the FrontPage Africa grading to say, "Hey, you see, the government is doing nothing. FPA said not do it. They all men get F."
They did it in the previous government, but it's not about. Don't look at these grades as classroom grades. They have that perception of it, but it's not classroom grade. It's pretty much looking at each government ministries, what they do in the year. And we start taking notes from January 1st. So next year, December, we'll put it out again. Don't say, "Oh, we're picking on you," or "We didn't do this." You've seen what happened at LEC. If you want this president to succeed, make your job visible. Don't feel like you're entitled, that you're doing this country a favor by being in a position. Showcase your work to the people. Don't just wait for Thursday. I think it's a mistake. That weekly press conference that the government has is a mistake.
It's a mistake, you say?
Yes. Each government and ministry agency should have their own media program and educate the public what they are doing. So every week you take one person from one government ministry, you put them information to talk about what? What have the other 15, 20 other government ministries? What are they doing?
They talk time by time.
You have to showcase your work. When last you heard the LEC guy talking somewhere? He doesn't talk much. But you see,
I know I hired him here one time. I think he'll be on here busy today.
Yeah, but you see him working.
He's not talking too much.
You see him working. So if we give him an A+, who will complain about it? But if you're sitting there, nobody knows what you're doing, then you come and say, oh, somebody asked you to go on a trip. I'm going to die in my hospital bed. You say, I asked you to go on a trip or you somewhere? Come on. These people, look, we have to be serious about this country. It's not your personal farm. You, just by being appointed in a position, is a blessing to you. You owe it to Liberia to serve.
Besides LEC, is there anywhere in the government again that is more practical that you think they're doing well?
Foreign Affairs is doing. She's doing well. I mean, considering that what's happening to Trump administration, most countries are being sidestepped. The fact that she has a window into the administration and getting things done, although there are some concerns about the health bill MOU that was signed, we're doing some look into that to see how beneficial it is to Liberia.
Yeah, and I was saying the other time, the government should communicate that to us. They should really tell us what we would have to offer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hearing some figures I don't want to put out there now, but we're looking at our international partners are working with us to do a showcase, a story on this.
Okay.
In the next few days or weeks. So, and that's what people understand too. Also, the Swedish government has cut funding in some to Liberia, right? But they've been helping us through our partner New Narratives. And most of the investigative stories you see coming out is funded by the EU and the
Swedish government.
The Swedish government. They pay our reporters, they train them, and that's what sometimes donors come to me and they say, "Oh, how can we help you?" I said, "I don't want your money. Just train the reporters to get better." So they send journalists to Liberia who work with these reporters to train them to do investigative stories. So it's something that we all can learn from. But I just think there's too much anger in the country right now. And they may think that they're helping the president, but they're falling prey to a recurring circle in Liberia's tragic past.
Are they making...
That is sycophancy.
Sycophancy.
And President Boakai is falling to that sycophancy.
Now, do you see them repeating some of the mistakes George Weah said? I know there was a point I invited you on one of the show and you were blunt. You said, Weah will go. You said the way I see things, the people we're talking to, the things we're doing, and you repeated this. You said the thing about sycophancy that we are feeling buy into it already. People were just lying to him, and you were accepting it.
Yeah.
Do you see these people repeating some of the mistakes the past government made? They're not learning from it at some point.
They're not learning, and they're refusing to learn. It's like they're looking at themselves in the mirror from yesteryears and refusing to adapt, refusing to do the right things. And someone told me that they think the old man's sleeping, but he knows some things are happening, but he's taking notes. But my thing is, when will he act? There needs to be some kind of strong reshuffle in this government.
You think so?
People are not doing their jobs, honestly. And I think he made a mistake in the beginning with some of the appointments. Remember I came in that morning on the show, we talked about how they were treating John Molu.
Yeah, John Molu, yeah.
You would think that somebody like that would have been around advising. But he was one of the first casualties that they pushed aside. No, we don't want nobody to come tell us how to spend our money, how to criticize our... They don't want people like that around them. That was the first mistake of the Boakai administration. Sidestepping John Molu was the first mistake. So what you end up with is a lot of politicians lobbying for jobs they're not qualified for. And they are hurting the country because of that. And I wouldn't say it's late, but President Boakai needs to shake up He needs to put things in order right away, because if he doesn't do it, his government will end up like George Weah government.
Let me ask you, and it's not compulsory if you didn't want to answer the question the way I thought you would. I mean, you're not forced to answer the way it is. In the event of a cabinet reshuffle right now, who do you think should leave? Who do you think should be replaced? Do you want to say that, or we leave it?
I never shy away from controversy. I'm not afraid to speak my mind, and I'm immune to cussing. I've been cussed many times, and I know what I'm about to say would lead to more cussing, but I didn't really care. I beat cancer. I can beat cuss. Look, the country is in a free fall as far as the economy goes. The economy is not really as strong as it's supposed to be. Some people say because of the global crisis going on, the Trump administration cutting of aid and stuff to Liberia. But I would say that Minister Gaffron, his second coming has been a problem. He needs to do some things to help the economy get better. People may say that things are okay, but go to the marketplaces, go to the rural areas, speak to people, hear their stories, what they're going through. These are signs that the economy is crippling. You look at the Ministry of Health. Gender is a problem, but will the president take action? I doubt it. We gave an assessment of their ministry last year. They were all over Facebook attacking us. Youth and sport, they have problems. They need to address it. And many other sectors, I don't want to go down, but I think our grading assessment for the year to tell you those who have problems and those who need to work on their problems. I think Mr. Gaffron needs help. I think he needs a rigid reform in the Ministry of Finance. And the thing about finance, it's a place where if you do not act, if you do not do visible things, people notice. If the economy is not good, they blame the Minister of Finance or they blame the government, the president. So I think the minister needs to really put his boots on and find a way to fix this issue at the Ministry of Finance.
Let's talk a little bit about the National Legislature. You sit, and in fact, this morning, Senator Sir Joseph will be here now. We'll talk about some of the bills and some of the issues. Are you following the legislature?
The legislature is a tragedy.
It is a tragedy.
It's the worst group of people ever assembled in our history. You look at the bills they've been passing lately, no accountability, no... I remember during the Ellen government, Madam Salif government, there was... we put some information out on some appointees, and they still passed those people. Government after government repeat the same mistake. There's no vetting. There's no accountability. In fact, the speaker attacked the media recently for holding him accountable.
He apologized later anyway.
But after the fact, after the damage already done, it tells you they don't even understand how they got in those positions. If our forefathers, if our ancestors, if our mentors of the past were not pushing the government foot to the fire, there wouldn't be a legislature. The speaker wouldn't be in that position. People fought for you to get in that job. They held government foot accountable. They put government feet to the fire for you to be where you are today. And you get there and you attack the media. What does it say about you? It says you're incompetent. You don't know the position you hold. And that's the problem with Liberia. This thing about sycophancy, they pretend that it's part of our culture. That every government come, they rally around the president and destroy the country. You go to Burkina Faso, the guy refuses, like Sankara, he refused to put his picture on the wall. Because it's not about glorifying people, it's about doing the job of the people. What's wrong with that? Just do the right thing. People will be happy. But you keep finding ways to fight. Every other day, this government, not the president, but the officials, they're fighting people. They're fighting the media. They're fighting the previous government. They're fighting everybody.
Rodney Sieh, publisher of FrontPage Africa, he's back home from the U.S. He's our guest this morning. Rodney, ahead of 2029, a lot of things are happening. Sir Joseph has broken away, resigned from the CDC. He has formed his People's Action Party, the PAP. Musa Belete left chairmanship of the Liberty Party. He's now the political leader of the CMC. In fact, he's moving wide across the country, building bridges. The other time I heard him donating transformers somewhere, and he's carrying his CMC so very well. Former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Weah Blamo. Weah Blamo just registered, and I'm told the party is being certified now. Give me 1 minute. I want to call the name of the party. I don't want to be guessing because I know. Let me see something. Weah Blamo is here with the party. It is called the. What be the Rodney? I want to be exact. With the name of this party. Okay. It is called the Liberian Alternative People's Party, Unity Party, CDC, Cummins is here. What do you see ahead of 2029? We're coming together in 2026. I was telling somebody, if we ain't careful, beginning next year now, our social politics are going to be here. You think some of these people will come back to the originality or, the testing the water and those kinds of things?
I think it's not a good sign when you're heading into year 3 and all these things happening. I don't think it's late for UP to rebound, but if they don't stop this fighting.
You mean UP or CDC?
UP.
Because most of the people I talk about people.
I'm getting there.
Okay, go ahead.
If they don't put themselves together and galvanize.
You're sounding too much about the infighting. It seems you got serious sources that inform you that there's a serious fight in the government, in the party.
There's fighting. There's fighting going on. And there's anger. And it's too much negativity. But going back to your question, I think somewhere down the line, maybe mid next year toward the end of next year, things will start getting tighter. I don't see a repeat of a CPP scenario. And maybe that might be an option, but I just think there's too much uncertainty, too much distrust among opposition people for them to make a strong grand coalition. That might happen maybe year 5 toward the next election, but for now, I think they're just going to be trying to find their footing to see who's the strongest, who has the more weight, who has more support. And right now, Musa seems to be gaining traction.
A formidable guy. He seems to
be getting traction. People say, "Oh, this other party, who's this person, who's Weah Blamo?" It's all about, and mind you, Liberia has a funny history about people breaking away and forming parties, and it's all about lobbying for negotiations. So some of these people might just be doing it for...
They want to be at the table.
At the table. So that could be something that's happening. But I think it's still too early. Maybe 2027, we'll start seeing some closeness.
What do you say to Liberians who think the entire opposition community is weak? And maybe that statement could be informed by what you just said. A lot of people say at this time in 2020, under Weah regime, or 2019, 2021, thereabout, there was a very strong opposition. In fact, right after the inauguration, the opposition started. whether it was a protest, whether they will grab George Weah annual message. In fact, at some point before George Weah even get the annual message, the man say they get a copy of it. They will grab the annual message and they will deal with it. They were so organized. The Cummings, the Boakai, and who else? The other people until, Bernard Ure until at some point when the CPP started splitting. People say they don't see that there's a fragmented opposition. George Weah, the Cummings, Belete, all these people there, it's like they're giving the government a free ride.
It's fragmented because...
Or probably the government is performing, so they don't have the basis by which they can hold the government.
It's fragmented because there's a lot of distrust too from the previous attempt at galvanizing an opposition bloc. And so I think people are just cautious, playing it by ear to see how far this will go. Like I said, I think you won't see any serious movement until 2027. And mind you, when Musa started, they started fighting him too. So if people who are cautious might be afraid that if they start talking too soon, they might go after them. You saw the last election how things are playing out when they were infighting among the opposition themselves, and people just went the way they were supposed to go because of what happened to them. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people are concerned about mobilizing too early or talking too early before something, preempt what they're supposed to be doing. But I think there's something that is very, very necessary. But I just don't think the opposition right now, they have the gravitas to really pull together.
You think people that Sir Joseph, Wisse Blamo, Thomas Fala, you think they are on an adventure? You think it's a political adventure? They might go back home?
I'm not sure about going back home for someone like Sir Joseph.
Wow. But
anything is possible. I think he's probably said some things about the CDC that they would not forgive him. Some political party might say, you know what, let's go to the guy and talk to him. Let's hear his concerns, he has some valid points. When his house got burned, there was some concerns that, some people in CDC, did something. So I think they should reach out to him and try to see what's going on and why he thought that way, the way he felt, the way he thought, So those are things that need to be addressed. But at this point in time, a ruling UP is not the same as a ruling CDC. You people will fight to stay in power. And if you don't come with a strong arm, you may not survive. So as much as people are saying that the UP is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, but the opposition have to put themselves in check and realize that the only way to beat the UP would have to be a united front. And I just don't see them.
And the UP is not going to fold its hands.
No,
it's going to go out to recruit too.
Yeah, and they have the resources, at the disposal. So the opposition have to.
You think resources can play in? We have the resources at disposal, Rodney.
Yeah, but the thing is, everybody has problems, and the UP problem, like I said, is the fact that they have failed to grasp how they came to power. You didn't win by landslide.
Yeah.
You narrowly won.
Less than 50,000 votes. Yeah. Less than, I think, 20,000.
But you governed it like you won by landslide. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Oh, okay. So, no. So the point you're making is they did not win. They did not win landslide, but they are governing like they won landslide.
Yes, and that's dangerous. Because a little bit over half of the country are not happy with what you're doing. They didn't approve of how you got the job. But you're treating them like crap. So they have a beef to fry. So I think they need to really put themselves in order. I don't know who would do it because the president seemed to be nonchalant about the whole thing. People in his government saying things, doing things, he doesn't say not much about it. I think there's something that he needs to put his foot on. But I just don't see him doing anything much because...
What is your perspective, Rodney, of the Liberty Party since Bronskin's departure and or death? May so rest in peace. The Liberty Party used to be a formidable opposition political party. Bronskin would take on the government constructively. What do you make of the Liberty Party in recent years? And I mean, it's already in the UP coalition. Do you think
is there a Liberty Party? Do they still exist?
There is a Liberty Party. Yeah, in fact, they had year-end stuff to their party headquarters. They've been having some programs.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Its political leader is normally Kangan Lawrence.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Rodney, why are you pretending like this? What's going on?
I didn't know they had a Liberty Party. I just thought they were collaborating with UP.
Yeah, but the party is still a Liberty Party.
You see, in Africa, politics makes strange bedfellows. Once you align with the ruling party, your party is splintered. So, for example, say elections come in 2029, right?
Yeah.
What can Yambli tell Boakai? What can Dylan tell Boakai? See my point?
Dylan has been speaking of, for example, when the whole speaker team started, he was on Folanti's side. And even after he had listened to one of the interviews with Julius, he said maybe that was one of the worst things they did because Folanti was never harmful.
He wasn't harmful, but at the same time, I'm telling you, the big thing like in Liberian politics, they say, oh, the man can speak. He's not talking. But even the president talk. The fact that you align with the government, your voices doesn't seem as strong as it's supposed to be. So it's a problem right there with that. Just by coming together with UP, it makes their effort. I'm not sure they're going to put a candidate forward. They may be lobbying to get the VP slot.
They could break away. They could leave.
To go where?
Well, if they're not satisfied, they pull away from the arrangement.
Liberty Party is already broken. Musa's on one side, Dylan Nyombi on one side. There's no Liberty Party. It's dead. I'm sorry, but it's dead.
That's why you think.
That's how I feel.
What's about Ben Uri, All Liberian Coalition Party?
I haven't heard from them for a while. Too.
Yeah, Ben has been quiet.
Yeah, he's been quiet too. So it's just the way politics is in Africa.
I don't know whether they have changed Theodore Mumbo, but Theodore Mumbo was chair of the party and he said he's an official of the government. He's now the head of the Bureau of State-Owned Enterprises.
That's why I'm telling you, once you align with the government, your party kind of disintegrates. And there's just too many strong people from the Liberty Party in the government to make them effective in 2029. The best they can do, hope that the Omer drop Kun and put Nyombi.
You think that is something that can happen? Considering the way Nima County can vote and how strong Kun is in Nima and the MDR symptom.
I don't see them putting up a candidate strong enough to beat anybody.
You mean who? What do you mean?
Say, for example, is Boakai running for a second term. Nobody run against him?
You mean to run against Boakai?
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know. You just said anything is possible in politics.
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see Nyombi or Dele running against Boakai if he runs second
But
time.
you think Boakai can push aside Kun for Nyombi? Yeah, is that possible?
That's the only hope that I think they have.
Is that possible?
That's the only hope they have as Liberty Party. They're not going to run on their own against Boakai. I'm sorry.
But Boakai is going to be looking at a lot, the numbers, the commitment.
What I'm telling you, Liberty Party is dead. The only
their only hope.
The only hope is maybe Kun step on the puppy foot one day. Puppy say, "Oh, it's my forehead, it's my foot. Kun, I'm dropping you. Maybe Nyombi." That's the only way I see it happening. But if Boakai is running 2029, Nyombi is not going to be a player.
And at ERBC that day,
I don't see her running against him.
At ERBC that day, the question came about 2029, and the president was not impacted. In fact, I will now be impacted because it's too soon. I didn't expect the president to say, I will not run. But he said, I'm concentrating on the job now. Let's get the job done. 2029, we'll talk, but let's get the job done. And a lot of people say, oh, the president is not clear. But you want the president to be clear as early as 2025 any? I would not have done the same thing. Sometimes we just need to be human being. Put yourself in it if you were the man. I would not do so. I can't be president at that time and say, I'm not running. You know what the president would have caused?
But he can't say he's not running.
You think he will run?
He will run, I'm sure. As long as he's age out, he will run.
Let's look at Joel Howard Taylor. The MPP, I don't know, I think she's still the political leader until they can have their whatever convention. But, you know, people like Erin Snow going back home, and I'm being hearing in the blue sky that he may likely come up were faced as the head, the political leader of the MPP, you think Joel Howard Taylor could play any role in the event George Weah was coming back? You think he would get her?
You know something strange? MPP has been one of the parties that have been consistently opposition.
Yeah.
No matter who was in power, they've always had a
seat on the table.
They always had that on the table. So I don't know whether it's the Taylor thing, but they've just been consistent.
They've been consistent, yeah.
And other parties are not being able to do that, and that's a plus to them. So if they can put the folks together, to get a strong bunk support.
You think George will bring Joel back?
I don't think so. Maybe they will come back in some capacity, maybe, but I don't see her being VP again with George, only because of what she went through the last time around.
Let's talk about Cummings a little bit. Cummings did not finish even third. 2017 he performed well. Then he will do 2023. Where do you see Cummings in the midst of all this, Rodney?
I think for Cummings to come down to resources, and to be his negative side is that he's not a Weah or Boakai or the brand name in the counties, so he needs to really invest in touring the counties. I think he started to do that last election, but then that whole thing came against it. It slowed him down a little bit. But I think that's what he needs to do. Just keep going, familiarize himself with the people, direct contact with them, town hall meetings with people.
You think it was sell? What didn't Cummings do? What hasn't he done?
He doesn't try, but I just think he needs to do more than what he did in the past and do things differently than what he did in the past. The mistakes he made in the past, he needs to correct them. Otherwise, it'll be the same old, 6 and 7.
Rodney, I see. A lot of people don't know. There are serious discussions going on in the civil society. There's some serious civil society actors in the country who believe that, look, we can't keep folding our hands. We can't keep getting donor money and doing all these projects. I think we need to have an alternative. Rodney, do you see another alternative other than CDC and the Unity Party? Alternative, not like Musa Ability, not Cummings, not anybody. Do you think there is somebody new that can just come about and make significant impact, considering the architecture of the politics of the country?
I don't really see it. Only because most of the civil society actors are either, in recent history, have either gone to government or they've become aligned with the government. And besides the progressive era, there haven't been any really a strong progressive force in the last 2 elections to arise. So I don't know where they're going to come from now, because it's just been that way. They haven't really been putting themselves out there as a vocal option for the electorate. So I don't see that happening.
Another guy is Simeon Freeman, businessman. Simeon Freeman, he's been very tough, criticizing the government almost every time. What do you think?
I don't think he has the identity to become president. I think he's been talking a lot over the years, same things, the same issues, and he's never really crossed that bridge. He never really crossed the next step. So I think he just needs to be more of a player in the political field, try to maybe align with people or other parties or something. But I think as a single-digit president, I don't think he's...
You call him what? A single-digit president?
That's what he's been the last few elections. There's a law in Liberia, right? If
you must have acquired
certain number of percentage to be consistently considered to be president, and he and many others have been disqualified, but they keep running, they keep coming back.
Because the law is not holding them.
It's not holding them.
The law is not holding them. Last election, the current foreign minister Sarah Beslow Yanti ran as president on the ticket of the, how they call her party, the Liberia Liberation Movement. So I may have forgotten, but she ran. Do you think any woman is going to come up 2029 to contest for president?
Any woman can run for president. Nothing should stop them.
What are you hearing?
I don't see any out there now, though. I don't see anyone out there now who's made a name for themselves, who's put themselves out there to be a candidate, a serious candidate. And it all comes down to speaking truth to power. That's why Madam Sieh, before she became president, she fought in the trenches. She criticized government after government. I just don't see it.
Okay. Before we take the line, let's talk a little bit about the judiciary. We have a new Chief Justice, Yami Bessie. At some point, there's been a lot of controversy around him, but he's moving. He's a new Chief Justice. The former Chief Justice has retired. You know, what do you think? In fact, the president of the Liberia Bar has been appointed. I think he's been commissioned now. I need to check. Councillor Bonavama is now supposed to go to the Law Reform Commission. Mm-hmm.
So I think he made a boo-boo with his son.
Yeah, the Chief Justice.
Yeah, so I think that was a I don't know what it is, an error in judgment or another sycophancy or another, what's the word, nepotism, you know. He could have handled that better. Then it was too glaring for him to do that. And for me, that showed that he has issues he needs to address. So I'm kind of biased with him. I mean, I can't be objective with him because he sent me to jail.
Oh, he sent you to jail.
Yeah.
So you can be objective. The law sent you to jail. Now
yeah, he was the judge.
Yeah, he was presiding, but it is a law, Rodney.
Yeah. So I know what I saw in the court, and I know what happened. So, but that's what it is. So I'm not in the right mind to speak objectively of him publicly.
I know. Did you listen to my reporter say lawmakers are meeting to ask the deputy speaker again?
You surprised?
What do you think?
Clarence, if you saw
for me, there's just some things in Liberia that don't surprise me.
No,
anymore.
You see, everything that happened in history goes back to history. So removing Fonadi was a test. Can we do it? Okay, we did it. Who's next? Once you do it one time, there's always the urge to do it again. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. That's how it is. That's how it works.
Fala will fight back.
Fight who?
And he's grounded.
Fight who?
The college that want to do it.
Fala will fight who? Who will you fight?
You think he will fold his hands? He will fight to uphold,
Fala
to retain his office.
I'm asking you, Clarence, Fala will fight who?
The colleagues that want to remove him.
Fala will fight who?
I said you asking contact, Rodney.
He was part of the people that moved for Nadikova. He was in bed with these people. So how can he fight? How can he?
But you think he could be removed, judging from his relationship with the president? I was just reading from Punch FM and one other online something. They say he's giving 24 cows and 800 bags of red to the president.
What's the most famous phrase in the Roman history?
You tell us.
Et tu, Brutus?
So what? Well, you say that to me?
So you think they will trust him after what he did to his former speaker?
Okay.
That's Liberia. That's how it works. I'm sorry, but they're not. He has no ground to fight. They were fighting. They were. Even if he tried to fight, they would do something to get him out. I mean, his end is already there. It's just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time. Rodney Sieh, publisher of FrontPage Africa, is our guest. 9 o'clock, Senator Sir Joseph comes in. 0777 700-995 0555 995 995 are the numbers to call. Let's hear from you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence Jackson. Good morning to Rodney Sieh. My name is Rich James Sanford calling from Central Mobile.
Yeah, Rich.
Yeah, the chief the CEO for FrontPage Africa shared some points about in-house fighting and all of things. He made some good points, but on the issue of what he said, normally the government officials are fighting and fighting. These things will always happen because
but sometimes,
no matter what,
it would damage the government. At some point, if they keep fighting, you know what the negatives will be. People will start leaking information. People will distrust. People will start running up people like that Clarence man, that other man, and sometimes it affects performance and the government.
But Clarence, these things will always. The reason is people are fighting on the basis of ideas. You want your own to survive. You want this other person to go through. You better have your interest and other things. So these things will always happen. That's why the president always fights to coordinate activities and ensure that whenever he has some knowledge on certain things happening, certain setups, you always call them and do the bantu or discuss and ensure that he becomes some of the issues.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Let's go to the other line. Hello.
Yeah, Clarence, good morning.
Good morning.
I mean, you hold me for long.
Yeah, I'm holding somebody.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for the privilege. And let me say good morning to the chief editor of FrontPage Africa, a veteran and big brother, Rodney Sieh. Good morning, and glad to hear you back on the media following your illness. This is Wilson, and I phone in from district number 11.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Sieh spoke excellently. He spoke like someone who understands the corridors politically, and let me say kudos to him. Clarence, you guys talked on a lot, but Mr. Sieh talked about anger. It will interest you to note that unity partisans, not every one of them, but 80% of them thinks that they are well inclined and they are well positioned. They understand everything than any other persons. Most especially the guys that hails from the CDC. They feel that these guys knows nothing. They are in position, but now they are opposition on leg. The MD, the managing director of Freeport, Honorable Ducle, who do all of his thing quietly with all of the bullets and things that he received. So, Clarence, the thing about hate, I think the United Party should be in a position to govern the country, bring peace and reconcile the country, then for them to be propagating more hate. You listen to the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. You listen to the Deputy Minister Daniel Sando. If one talked about or talked against the government, he goes on his podium and insult that person using government platform to insult opposition, to insult our permanent citizens in this country.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear you here. Hello. Good morning. Are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, we are good. We are good.
Good morning.
I said good morning. I'm hearing you.
Yes, okay, then this morning I'm Ambassador Divine Piapo, political apostle, and I do join you from District 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay, let me appreciate the big brother, Mr. Sieh, for the expose. I think he was not biased in his whole interview that you gave him. I really like what the previous caller said just now in regards to anger or in regards to the partisans or even the government official, exerting themselves as a people who know everything. And then the reason why and the people and we militarize and we approach the issue like that is because of people as a political party, the partisans, and then their attitude that they did for the 6 years that we gave them, they behave like people who don't even go to school. So definitely, like for the party, our 12 years first, the way we govern this country, we govern the country perfectly, and then even currently we speak this government, the way President Boakai is driving this country, and perfectly, no too much of driving. So that's the reason why we always kind of distance ourselves and then in that kind of manner.
Okay. That's why you can add that, eh? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just cut your radio off in the background, please. Chief. No, we can't continue with you. I'm sorry. We can't continue. Good morning.
Good morning, and let me say a pleasant good morning to the listening public. My name is Jerry Candy, commonly known as Jerry Jesus. I'm the pastor and the chairperson of Salvation City. I join you for Central Town. Clarence, let me appreciate the studio guests. Well, let me also differ in when it comes to. So let me just say he has been biased in every way, and in analyzing things this morning. You know that he has not been able to tell us, and because you asked him about sectors. Right? He didn't say anything good about any sector. So entirely.
No. He said something good about Ministry of Health. I mean, how do you call it? Problem, 1 minute. Don't say that. The man praised the LEC. The man said he found the LEC managing director like one of the best appointment Boakai ever made because LEC is performing and is showing itself. The man praised the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He said even though there's some issues, but the Minister of Foreign Affairs is doing a significant job. How you say the man see nothing good?
So here's the thing, right? Mr. Sieh want us to believe that, and because of his personal feeling, where the chief just said what he did, probably that didn't go in his favor. So he said maybe I'm biased, but I ain't able to say anything.
But that's honest. I always say to people, you can remember when President Boakai at that time you were running 2017 when the president said we squander our opportunities. I told people during the CDC regime, I said that particular statement of Boakai was honesty. Boakai was just being honest. All Boakai was saying, look, as a united party, we had so many opportunities, but we didn't use some. So we squandered some of our opportunities. That was being honest. Rodney is just saying, look, I got personal issue with him, man, so I don't want to talk about him too much because I can't praise him because of what he did to me. That's being honest.
Another thing, Clarence, that I already picking up from there. And so Mr. Sieh want us to just sit back and United Party when I say it's all country at large, and just sit back and anything he pour out, and because anything he pour out is a public consumption.
Okay, Chief. The thing about it, even the CDC town, the CDC people say, so the man won't tell me he the only president, huh? Anything he said that it was supposed to do, but the results at the ballot box are different. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Clarence, thank you for having me on your platform this morning, and I have to take my time to call in. I'm CRC Emmanuel Tupa Jr. of the Interlogical Plan, Montserrat County. Let me say good morning to Rodney Sieh. He landed quite, fluently, and I think he landed on wisdom. Because the United Party under President Boakai is forgetting that they didn't win with a women mandate, but yet they are leading as if they were giving 70% mandate to lead the country, or even 60%. Here's the thing, and the president needs to get this straight. The president cannot come on national platform and tell us that he didn't know initially about the FOIA project. I think this is a slap in the face of democracy and accountability. The president still needs to come and clean. He knew about it. So if we will take this argument to be real that the president didn't know initially about the program in FOIA, then there are a whole lot of things happening on the color that the president doesn't know about.
Okay, let's take the final call. We'll go back to Rodney. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Jelai Isa, a call from Benafan, Pinze.
Okay.
I'd like to ask, thank you for the program. I asked Mr. Rodney Sieh about he and the U.S. Sports Minister, whether the allegation that he has a entertainment center at the FTD, and he requested the U.S. to give him free electricity, and they refused. That is why
I think Rodney spoke about it when he was here in America. The place is not for Rodney; it's for one. How do you call it, woman? It's for one woman. And Rodney spoke about it when he was in the States.
Anyway, I did not.
Thank you. Okay, we're not taking any more calls. Let's go back. Rodney, you heard the exchanges.
Yeah. I like people to be honest with me, and to be honest with people, and I speak my mind. I don't hold back. I don't try to beat around the bush when you ask me a question, and I speak clearly, and I try to tell people, what's wrong and what's right in the country. It doesn't mean that I hate this country. I love Liberia, like anybody else, like any Liberian who truly loves this country. I love this country, and I only want to see it, prosper develop to be the best on the continent of Africa. But it's just sad that throughout our history we've been dealt a bad hand. And it's not so much about the leader we have, it's just about the people around them. And the issue of sycophancy is hurting our country. I hope and pray that God will give our president wisdom to be able to dissect the people around him, to see who's telling him the truth and who's just doing it because they want to get a free pass or benefit themselves. And that's the problem we're having right now in this country. That's the problem we had in the past. From Weah, Madam Salif, whoever came in power, it's the same problem. The issue of sycophancy is killing this country. Until that disease is totally wiped away from this country, Liberia will never have a good government, because the presidents allow themselves to be bamboozled by sycophants. And that is what's killing this country. And if we're not careful, we are going to have a recurring circle of uncertainty for a very, very long time, until we have leaders who can muster the courage to weed out sycophants from their midst.
How is that possible in the first place? When do we even see a president who is traveling out of the country and maybe one or two ministers just go to the airport? When do we see a president returning to the country and we just see one or two people instead of the entire cabinet or half of the cabinet? When do we see these things?
I mean, they can start with that. If the president wanted to make the difference, he can say no more going to the airport to meet the president. For example, the president goes to Guinea for like 1 day visit. Come on. You go parade the airport with people to say welcome back, Mr. President. That's why sycophancy is hurting this country. And he needs to put his foot down. And I don't know why he's not putting his foot down on it, but there's just too many people around. And we say this thing, every government, we say the same thing. Oh, the people around the president. Oh, the people around the president. But when will it stop? It takes guts. It takes courage. Courage under fire to get it done. And I think President Boakai needs to have this wisdom, this courage to weed those sycophants from his midst. That's what's hurting this country. The anger you're seeing in the government right now is not about anything. It's all about they're protecting their jobs, so they have to be sycophants. If the president, you saw the result, the response to the grade we did last week. Those who feel or those who got grade they think they didn't deserve, they think that they go on Facebook and attack me, say I want to go to trips with them when I was almost dying in the hospital. It speaks volume about what they think and how this country should be. But no one is more Liberian than me or you, Clarence. Mm-hmm. We're all Liberians, and we all owe it to this country to speak our mind, to tell the truth to the power. And I will keep fighting, I will keep writing, I will keep doing what I'm supposed to do. If you don't like what I say or do, then do the right thing. I will leave you alone.
Finally, you think Boakai still got some time?
I would say
to correct whatever mistake you think he had.
I would say year 3 next year will be a defining moment. I think if he can make some reshuffle and get some things in order, maybe, the UP can, but they need to tone down the anger in the country. There's just too much anger going on, too much sycophancy going on. The very things they criticize George Weah for, they're doing this they're doing even worse. They're doing even worse. And that's not a good sign.
Okay, Rodney.
And as popular as George Weah is and was, the voters kick him out. What about you who just won by 30,000 votes? Something to think about.
Thank you.